What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Dale, man.
It's your boy Dale. Oh,
I'm here to unbox some toys.
yeah. Uh, I don't know. I didn't know how to feel after the Lakers beat the Rockets. Should I feel good about that?
I think you should feel good. I don't know.
The Rockets were up 19.
Yeesh.
The Lakers came back and won.
Are either of them not going to make the playoffs?
Well, the team that's most likely not to is the Lakers.
I know. I would really wish that because I think at the beginning of the season I said they're not going to,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to once in my life be right.
Mm-hmm. That would be good.
It'd be cool. It's cool to be right.
It's definitely cool to be right. And the Kings, man, the Kings almost beat the Warriors. So close.
How the mighty have fallen.
Okay. You ready?
Ready. Are we recording?
That's what I'm making sure. Okay, here we go.
I'm Stephen Adams. This is Down to Doug. I'm miffed and peeved. That's not the words. What do I say?
Hello, I'm Alex Abrinas. I'm not miffed and piffed. I'm about to dunk. I'm not miffed and piffed. Hello, I'm Alex Abrinas. I'm not miffed and piffed. I'm down to dunk.
I'm Stephen Adams. I'm not miffed and peeved. I am down to dunk.
Yo, this PG and I'm down to dunk.
Good morning and welcome to episode 6, 4, 7 of Down to Dunk. You can find us on clnsmediadailyhunter.com-radio at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or, of course, anywhere you subscribe to your podcasts. I am Luke, joined this morning by Andrew.
Slam through.
And no one else.
It's the Drew and Lou show.
It's the Drew and Lou pod. Welcome. Long awaited.
Per usual, Jay is out of town.
Jay's traveling the world. Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego, Jay Smith?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Always somewhere.
Yeah.
He travels more than anyone that
Literally, he's always somewhere. And it's just like a week's notice. Okay, guys, get me there next week. I'll be in Israel.
Yeah.
Like, hey, guys, get me there next week. I'll be in Charlotte. Like, it's like, okay, where's he going to next? He's a traveling guy.
Taylor,
I don't know where he is.
I don't remember.
I don't remember either. I know he can't be here. That's as far as I got.
Oh, he's going to see his sister in Colombia.
That sounds correct.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's right, but
Colombia is not right, but he's going to see it. There's nothing new.
Nothing
new. Markieff Morris is in Oklahoma City. He was on a private jet. He flew here. He's going to play tonight against Utah. It's a late game, late tip, 8:30 tip here at home. I don't like that.
What time does that game end?
It'll 11-ish. But what sucks is that I will be there for a long time. So like the process afterwards, like after the game, you'll go and you talk to Billy Donovan. He'll talk for like 10 minutes, and then you wait outside the Thunder locker room until they're ready to open it. And you go in and you just stand there and wait to talk to guys. And depending on how they're feeling, they'll go quickly or they won't. If they lose, like sometimes Paul George it'll be an hour before he'll talk to anybody.
That's midnight.
And then I'll record a podcast. And then I'll have to edit it. And then I'll put it online. And then it'll probably be like 1:30 before I leave.
Dude, it's probably gonna be. I'm just setting you up. It's probably gonna be 4.
It's
gonna be a long time.
It could be 4.
Okay, where do you think Markieff's locker is? Who do you think he's gonna be locker mates next to?
Ooh, good question.
Because I remember, like, you remember when it was like Reggie Jackson was pooping all over the team and like bad in the locker room. They moved someone away from him because they're like, "Oh, he's bad."
Yeah.
Who is Markieff going to be next to?
They did that to Dion. They put Dion over by Katie and Russ. I'm trying to think because like Ray Felton and Russell and Paul George are over on one side, and then you kind of have like the young guys on the opposite side, and then in the middle is Steven and Nerlens and Patrick. I would guess that he'd be in that area, and Schroeder's right there next to Nerlens. I would guess he'd probably be near Patterson toward the younger side because there's not a whole lot of room on that other side. Because Russell likes to use a lot of space. He likes to stretch out.
He likes the space.
He likes to stretch out his legs
I get
and have
that.
a lot of space.
I get that.
I would guess he'd be over there. But that is an interesting. I will keep everybody updated.
Yes, we need to know.
I'll let you guys.
Yeah,
I'll let
it's
you guys know
very important.
where he's at. Oh, we also go into the locker room before the game, and it's just horrifically awkward.
Imagine if you came home from your job every day and came home and immediately took a shower and came out and there was a guy with a podcast that's about your job and it's like, hey, I want to hear about your job today.
Right.
But he knows all about it. He watched videos of you working the entire time. It's like, hey, let's talk about your day.
It is a bizarre setting, and I guess it's just, this is like another thing of like, this is how it's always been done kind of deal. But there are enough rooms in the Chesapeake Energy Arena that we could go sit in and the players could come out. And they do that for the playoffs where we all just sit in the same room. But I don't know if it's for efficiency's sake or if it's just because like that's a thing. But
it's weird.
It's weird, but also it is kind of nice as somebody who's a member of the media to go in. You get to kind of see the dynamics that are happening within the locker room.
Yeah.
So I don't think that you would want to end that, but it is awkward. Lots of guys walking around in towels.
That's
super awkward.
That's weird.
Yep. Well, I'm fully clothed. Okay.
Hey, the other thing, Hamidou Diallo.
Yeah.
The dunk contest.
He did.
We haven't talked about it.
He was good.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. We
I
talked
thought
about
that was
it
cool.
on the Monday pod.
Well, I know it. I haven't got to talk about it.
What the dunk contest overall?
It's bad, I would say.
Kind of lame.
It's always kind of bad.
Yes. For the most part.
Which was your favorite bad dunk? Because I have mine.
I mean, it's the John Collins dunk.
Yeah. My favorite part of that is that first he has the big intro of the guys coming out. And then he decides he's going to put on the classic aviator look, big white scarf, head, like cap, and goggles.
Yes.
But then quickly realizes I can't dunk with these goggles. So he immediately takes them off.
He's very much struggling with the goggles.
And then realizes, oh, this cap doesn't fit my head and I don't like it. And maybe it's on backwards and I'm not going to wear that either. And so then he just has a scarf.
And then he
hits the plane. Breaks the plane.
He breaks the plane that is made out of balsa wood and yarn that he made himself.
It was
for a craft.
It would have been better if he had made it himself. Then it'd be like, oh, wow, that's actually pretty good. If he made that, it would be more impressive to me. But it was bad. And I was just like, what is going on?
It was bad. It was hilariously bad.
It was, because
it's
imagine like he ran it by his team and they were like, oh yeah, what we're gonna do. And he was like, I'm jumping. I bet he didn't show it to him. I bet he was just like, guys, I'm gonna jump over an airplane. And they were like, awesome.
No, he told a lot of, he even told it to Brian Windhorst of ESPN.
Really?
That he was going to do it. And Brian was telling him what a great idea it was.
Oh, man.
A lot of people, he has a lot of bad friends.
You need someone in your life that says, don't do that. It's a bad idea.
Yeah.
And you should trust him and listen to him.
Yeah.
When you get too rich to be able to be told no, it's bad. It's always bad.
That's the situation John Collins is in. But I actually really love it. It was my second favorite dunk.
Because of how bad it was?
So I'll always remember the jumping over Shaq.
Yeah.
Is the number one. But I will never, ever forget him jumping over and breaking in two different places the Wright brothers playing as he's dunking.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
And he did complete the dunk.
That's true. Uncompleted dunks.
That's the
best thing about Diallo's dunks is he got them all on the first try.
Yeah.
If he had to jump over Shaq 5 times, it's like, this is not as good.
Right.
But first time, gets it, hangs.
He's planting his crotch firmly in Shaq's head.
Yeah.
It would be
and he
not
didn't
be great.
And he didn't like, there was someone that jumped over like a rapper I've never heard of before. And it was like he jumped over and he used the guy to like give him a lot of boost.
That was Dwayne Wade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he
got a 50.
He got a 50.
That was
undeserved. Lame. But when Diallo jumped over Shaq, he didn't use him to like boost him up that much. It didn't look like.
He didn't touch his shoulder. He touched him on the back, but it was more like to know where he's at.
Yeah. I thought it was very impressive.
It was great.
I liked it.
He was awesome. I hope he'll do it again next year. I hope we get Zion. Hopefully Zion heals by then.
Oh man, his shoe exploded.
And it was a Paul George shoe.
Was it really?
You didn't know that?
Oh no, Paul, that's bad.
It was a PG too, man.
We have it's bad look for Nike.
It's a bad look for Nike.
Bad look for Nike, and then I guess bad look for Paul George.
Bad look for PG. They were asking him about it yesterday.
Alex Spears at Al Baby Cakes asked us a Twitter question about it. He said, "Have we ever busted out of a piece of clothing?"
I know. I was trying to think.
I have.
Okay, go ahead.
This was like a month ago. I was in court.
No.
And I was in court, and I got back to my office, and I like passed a mirror, and I was like, "Oh no!" And I looked in my butt, split down the middle. I want to say 12 inches of just exposed underwear, and I was just like there, and I have been up in court like walking around doing things like talking to other people, and I was just like, how court works is like, in front there's like the lawyers up front, and then all the people there about court are in the back, and so that's who could see it, is everyone in the back, and we're talking about 40 people.
You're like on stage in front of these 40 people.
Yeah, and guess what, it's very possible that they saw on
what was your underwear print?
I don't remember, but all of mine are pretty wild.
I figured.
I'm a wild guy, and I like to express myself with my undies.
I busted a pair of basketball shoes before, but they were like old shoes.
Really? How
So,
hard?
like,
So you're just having a game of your life.
Just planted and just mildly sprained my knee, and then people asked me, "Will you ever play again?"
When was this?
This was a few years ago.
Will you ever play again? Like, is this it for you? God, I'm done.
You're gonna hang it up after this mild knee sprain.
Man, did you?
I haven't played.
Oh, you hung it up.
I hung it up.
Oh man, I hate
took-
to hear that.
I took the advice. I did what was best for me.
Man, I have a similar. I went skiing in law school, and I fell back and hurt my shoulder in a weird way.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I'm done. I'm not going skiing again. So now, like, my family will be like, "Hey, we're thinking about going skiing." I'm just like, not gonna go. Not going. Don't want to. I'll watch your dogs.
When Blake fell off of the ski lift and had to have surgery on his shoulder because he fell off the ski lift.
It was similar, man, and it was not even like a big fall. It was like I've gotten down the mountain and I fell backwards, waiting for like a ski lift. I was just, and it was just like, like I couldn't lift my shoulder very high, like my arm high. It sucked. And I hung it up. That's why I feel you.
Yep. That's if you ever get hurt, hang it up. Whatever you were doing.
That's true. That's why I do respect Paul George coming back from such a horrific injury.
He should have hung it up.
Should have hung it up though. The argument could be made. He should have hung it up.
The Zion Williamson stuff, have you paid much attention to it?
About the shoe?
About the shoe and about the hanging it up.
No.
They're asking him to hang it up for the rest of the
for the rest of his like
college season.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it makes sense.
It makes some
sense. If I were him, would I do it? Probably. Because guess what? The healthier you are,
he'll be the number one pick no matter what.
Yeah. But then you get to become a millionaire.
I would wager he might already be one.
You never know. You never know with the college.
I'm just saying, everybody's just complaining like, man, he should really have the money right now. Dude, I bet you he's got the money. Like, don't worry about Zion Williamson.
Yeah, but he needs more.
He will have more.
And he'll have a lot.
He will definitely have more.
But, what if he, plays and he's playing the rest of the game and he breaks his hip? Guess what?
Probably number one pick.
Well, still could, but it still could affect how long he could play, whatever. But I don't know. I'd do it if I was like number one. The only thing you can go from there down.
Hey, John Wall fell in his house and had to have surgery on his Achilles. So I think there has to be more to that story than that. Zion should probably just hang up walking for the rest of the season.
Bed rest.
Put him on bed rest.
Bed rest
for the rest of the college season until the draft. Bed rest.
There has to be more to that John Wall story. Like, do you think he just mopped or something? Or someone mop for him, probably because he's a very rich person.
Yeah,
He's just like,
he's probably
I need a good glass of water. Whoop.
You think John Wall's ever mopped anything?
Probably. Everyone knows how to mop.
I mean, I don't know.
I've mopped.
I mean, yeah, we've mopped,
Everyone
but
mops.
I just don't know that John Wall's mopped.
Sometimes it's really it feels good to mop. You're like, this is clean, and I know it.
You know who taught me to really mop?
Who?
My shift worker at Eskimo Joe's.
Oh, really?
Gotta really mop.
Before that,
I could mop. I mean, it was
you
just,
weren't doing a good job.
I wasn't doing the best job.
Yikes. I know you've mopped before that.
I did some pretty mediocre mopping.
Yeah. Once someone tells you how to really get in there, it's life changing. I bet he is mopped. But have you ever seen Muppet Family Christmas, where every time the Muppets and the Sesame Street gang all go to Fozzie's mom's house for Christmas, and there's an ice patch in front of the door, so every character that walks in slips and falls.
Yeah,
that's what happened to John Wall.
Yeah,
That's exactly. He had an ice patch at Fozzie's mom's house, and he walked in and he was like, "Hey, welcome to Christmas." And just like, watch out for that. Whoop.
Is that what happened to Carlos Boozer too?
Yeah.
Fell in his house, broke his thumb. He tripped over a gym bag.
That's hilarious to me, because you don't think NBA athletes that are playing at such a high level can be clumsy.
Oh yeah,
they are. They can be. Or they can fall in their house, and they show up to like practice the next day, or they call the coach, and they're like, "Hey man, I got bad news. I slammed my car door on my thumb, and I'm out for the rest of the season." Like, that's dumb. That's dumb.
Hey, they can have accidents too.
They can. Hey, you know what I wanted to talk about? I want to talk to you about some of our favorite people. Anthem Brewing Company. We've told you about wow. That surprises me every time. We've told you about their incredible beer selection: Golden One, Arjuna IPA, or Ouroboros Rider IPA, or some of the one-of-a-kind beers creations you can only find at their brewery, 908 Southwest 4th Street in Oklahoma City. However, there's more than that. Right now, their spring seasonal apparel release party, Anthem Spring Swag, will be Thursday, March 7th at 6 p.m. at the Tap Room. They're launching all their newest apparel for the springtime to deck out their fans in their fancy duds while they drink their tasty suds. And that sounds wonderful.
Be great. They've got cool stuff.
And every week in February, so this last weekend, which is the last weekend in February, if I'm not mistaken.
It's flown by.
February is not joking around. They're giving away a percentage of their profits to a local charity someday soon. Someday Soon is a local group helping to get Oklahoma City's homeless back on their feet. Also, before any Thunder home game, so tonight, $1 every pint from 4 to tip-off. Before a tip-off's late tonight.
Yeah.
That's 4.5 hours of dollar pints. Whoa.
Is that true?
I think so.
Wow. Yeah.
I hope so, because I'm talking about it.
4 to 8:30.
If you come to the tap room, have a great time, don't feel like driving, or you shouldn't drive to the game, they want you to leave your car there while you Lyft or Uber to the game.
That's pretty cool.
Anthem Brewing Company, made on Earth by humans, for humans.
Made on humans.
Made on humans. It's like when they serve sushi on a human, It's like that. But beer. That's a fun. Yeah, 4 to 8 $30 pints. Woo.
Oh, okay.
Hey, let's jump right into Twitter questions.
Oh, sorry. I jumped the gun.
No worries.
I slipped.
The first.
So we will be doing our show is Drew and Lou TQs.
Drew and Lou TQs. Drew and Lou TQs. Drew and Lou TQs. Boom, boom.
Basically our whole show.
I'm ready. And the first Twitter question comes from @OwlBabyCakes, who wants to know, is Luke really at the goatee phase of his life? I'm there. I'm so ready.
Dude.
This time next week, when you see me on the podcast and watching on YouTube,
no,
most likely I will have a goatee. Dude, this is why I say that. It's calling to me. I want to have one for a little bit, and I think it will look good. But I also am aware how bad it will look.
It will, yeah, dude. Come on.
This is what I did. I trimmed the beard yesterday,
Yeah.
and I trimmed everything but the goatee just to get an idea. And I was digging the look. It was a good look.
No.
I'm just saying,
Luke.
you're gonna be surprised how much you like it.
If I do like it, you're right. I will be surprised.
It's just a feeling, you know?
I don't know. No, I don't.
I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Are you seeing a lot of goatees in your life?
No, and that's why I think it's time. Start the trend.
Okay. I was
Start
just
the trend.
gonna say, who in your life has a goatee that you're like, yeah, that's a good idea.
I don't know.
Like-
I'm watching like
Let me. Here's one argument.
Okay.
Against the goatee. Someone in our life that had a goatee, Mr. McQueary.
See, I didn't have the relationship with Mr. McQueary that you did. You were such a big fan of him because you had him in class.
I was not a fan.
I know, but you had him in class.
I did.
So you knew him better, and I didn't really know him. I just knew that
He taught senior year high school environmental science.
yes, and I'll say it. It's a last name that's very difficult to have if you're teaching high school students, or really, I think any students beyond 7th grade.
Oh, even before then.
Mr. McQueary.
It's a rough one.
It was. I don't remember. I don't really know him that well. I just assume I'd be like McQueary.
McQueary.
But that's the limit of art. But he had a goatee.
He had a goatee.
That's a good look.
He didn't like me.
It was the early aughts, man.
He didn't like me because I couldn't handle his last name
I'm sure
in the correct way.
We weren't at the maturity level we are now, to where we can, and that's why I'm ready for it.
Okay.
I've watched a lot when I come home from work. The Office is on Comedy Central for like 2 hours.
Yeah.
And the episode where Michael Scott has
the
goatee,
Yeah.
and you realize it's because Ryan has the goatee.
Right.
And at the end of the episode, when he shaves it, Dwight has the goatee.
Yeah.
It's a great episode. I love it.
I was just curious who your Ryan was, and I believe it's Mr. McQueary.
Yeah, we can say that.
Okay.
I'm actually looking to be several people's Ryan. When people see it,
Oh, you're trying to
there'll be a lot of
Ryan.
Michael Scotts out there and be like, dang, he looks great. Fashion icon.
All right.
Okay. Do we want to ask a basketball question? Because we have several non-basketball questions.
We're going to try to get through as many of these as possible.
Okay.
We got time. We got some time.
We got some time. Here's a quick one. I already answered, but I want the people to know. It's from @Dakari Sanchez, who has a question for me, who wants to know who Daniel Bryan should face at WrestleMania. The answer is Kofi Kingston. You are not interested in this question.
I don't know what that means.
But the people out there that know, no. Kofi's had a big week.
Yeah, I don't know who Coney Kingman is.
He's a wrestler and he's good. Okay. Our next question comes from @John M. Ham, who wants to know, why don't time travel movies ever account for the fact that the Earth is not stationary, and that if you zapped back in time, you'd probably actually wind up in outer space?
Yeah, that is interesting.
The reason is because all those movies would be really short.
Back to the Future.
Back to the Future is, you have maybe 10 minutes until we're in the past.
Yeah, and they just wind up in space,
Just
dead.
Just floating in space, just dead.
No
End
air.
of movie.
End of movie.
Directed by Steven Spielberg.
Back to the Future.
That's it. Back to the Future. Don't do it.
Don't do it. It's a good point by Ham that time travel is it's risky on a lot of levels. You have the butterfly effect that you might be afraid of,
Oh yeah.
but also just the fact that you just might end up in space dead.
Yeah. And
It's a good point.
Yeah. Yes. Back to the Future dealt with it's just a wild movie because very quickly Michael J. Fox is like, oh, his mom wants to date him.
Yeah.
It's like, that's where we're going first with this, Steve.
Yeah.
Steve Spielberg. It's weird.
It's kind of sick.
Kind of sick. And his dad is perv.
Yeah.
Watching girls change in the tree.
That's true.
Don't go. Don't go.
Steven.
Don't go.
It makes me question a lot of things about him now.
It's a movie for children. Back to the Future.
Yeah.
I saw Back to the Future when I was probably in like 3rd grade.
Yeah.
And that's a lot to lay on.
It's a lot of unacceptable behaviors that are made commonplace.
Yeah. And I got it when I bought my family bought like a Big Mac meal at McDonald's and got Back to the Future.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just watch out. Don't do it. Not ready. Make sure your kids are ready. All right. Our next Twitter question comes from @CadeMaters1, who wants to know if the Thunder reach their ceiling and take the Warriors to 6 in the conference finals and KD leaves, should the Thunder keep their core intact or seek upgrades in the form of a 3rd star?
I guess it would definitely depend on who the star is. If the star is Kevin Durant, you go and you try to get Kevin Durant if that's a possibility. And it would be like very similar to the Chris Paul deal. Somebody brought this up on Twitter, but I don't know if this is a Twitter question or not. But the answer is yes. It is very much like Chris Paul deal. He could opt into his contract and then the Thunder could trade for him. But it would have to be hey, listen, I'm going to New York, or you can trade me to the Thunder. And, if you're the Warriors and you can get back Jeremy Grant and Dennis Schroeder and a 1st-round pick or Hamidou Diallo, you'd probably rather have those guys than nothing because they're going to be capped out after they pay Clay and then they're going to pay Draymond. Like they're not going to have a lot of money to play around with. So that's how it would happen. Any other guy, I mean, it would have to be, I don't know. I assume they will keep this core together of the starting lineup, and they will try to grow together over the next few years. I think that's the most likely thing.
Because my thinking is, you've gone to 6 in this scenario. You've gone to 6 against the Warriors.
This version of the Warriors.
This version of the Warriors, who then lose KD
and Boogie.
So they're gone, and now you got to think if we keep our core intact, we're going up against them who are not the same core.
Right. You can beat that team.
You can beat them.
Yeah.
So I think either way, you're good.
Yeah. Unless you can get a generational talent, I think you keep the chemistry that you have.
Yeah. Because the chemistry is good.
If the Thunder get to the Western Conference Finals, I think they can push them to 6. I think that's a sincere possibility.
I saw that on Twitter, so it might be fake because you never know. But that Markieff Morris said that this team, the chemistry in this team is what made him want to come here.
Yeah.
And that's he could see other play. It's pretty cool to think especially because he's coming from Washington, where it looks like their chemistry is not as good.
It is awful.
And so see this team having fun, playing well together, gelling.
Yeah,
I want to be a part
it's
of that.
true. You can see it if you're watching Thunder games, which everybody that's listening is. You know how great the chemistry is, and it is cool to know that NBA players are seeing that. And he signed for a minimum deal. I figured they'd tap into their mid-level exception to get him. They didn't have to do that, which was a little bit shocking. So this is the team that he wanted to be on, and it wasn't because they could offer more money. It was just because, and he also, the token, he wants to compete for a championship. It's 20 teams are we want to compete for a championship.
Yeah.
But anyways, it's cool. And I'm excited to watch him play. He will help this team quite a bit, I think.
Yeah, I'm excited. Plus, have they been practicing this week or have they been off?
Yeah, they've had 2 practices this week.
So that's good. Because a lot of times when it's a trade, it's they're in the game that night. It's they don't know anything about sets or anything. So 2 days practice.
Yeah. They'll
pretty
shoot
cool.
around today. So it'll take some time, but I think he's excited, and he hasn't played since December.
Yeah,
so he's ready to play.
I'm ready to see him.
Me too.
It's gonna be cool. All right, our next Twitter question comes from @instens00. Wants to know: have any of you played Apex Legends yet? And do you think we'll see it take over Steve's top go-to game? I guarantee you haven't played this game.
I don't even know what it is.
It's a battle royale where it's there's 100 people,
and
at the end there's one. But it's I have not played it either.
Yeah,
I'm a Fortnite guy.
I was gonna say, isn't it like Fortnite?
It's a lot like Fortnite, but less good. I'll say it.
Okay.
Okay, and it's not going to. I think Fortnite is Steve's go-to game.
I'll have to take your word for it.
Yeah,
I don't know anything about any of these things.
not much of a gamer these days, huh?
No, I'm trying to like the last game.
Have you ever talked about on the podcast Earl Boykins' secret place?
I don't know if I've talked about the EBSP.
You need to. In our freshman year of college,
Yeah.
we lived together, and there was like a bar in our room, kind of.
Yeah.
It was a bar.
It's kind of hard to explain because it was intended to be like a common area at the end of this long hallway, but there's a room attached to it that was so small that they said like that whole thing was one room.
Yes.
And so we ended up, us and two other guys, we got one room in that hallway that's like a regular room, and we got that room. I don't know how did we get that room?
I don't know.
It was great.
I think
no one wants to know about this.
Yeah, it doesn't
we'll talk
really
about
matter.
it later.
However, so we had one room where we cramped the smallest room. We cramped all our beds into.
Yeah,
and then the regular room we had a study room.
Yeah,
all our desks.
Yeah,
and then we had this extra room that we had, couches and a video game place. But then there's this bar. And an extra place behind it, and it's been like we've been there probably 3 weeks, and like we're playing, and we're like, man, where's Andrew? And like I say, like, have you seen Andrew today? I was like, no, I haven't seen him. And we hear from inside the room, and I go, hey man, I've been here the whole time. We've been there playing video games for probably 2 hours. He's like, hey, the whole time. And we go behind the bar.
Yeah.
And you've set up a TV.
Yeah.
A video game.
PS2.
PlayStation 2. And are you playing NBA Street?
No, I'm playing NBA Live at the time. And here's the thing, like nobody wanted to play NBA games with me.
Yeah.
Everybody's playing Mario Kart or something else, which is great because I also like those games. But no one else wanted to play NBA games with me, so I set up my own spot.
And you called it the Earl Boykins secret place.
Yes, the EBSP.
Yes.
Because it's like very tiny, compact, like Earl Boykins.
Yes.
And it was a secret. No one knew about it.
The TV was probably 6 inches from your face.
No. It wasn't. No.
A foot away.
It was about as far as like my laptop is from you right now.
No way.
It was
so much smaller.
Because I can stretch my legs out.
In my memory, you could not stretch your legs out.
I could. They were not at the full bend. But yes. Anyways.
But that was wild. So that's how Andrew prefers to play video games. Is in a very small, compact place. All right. Our next Twitter question comes from Bangelope. Wants to know our favorite dinosaur. Velociraptor.
It's a cool dinosaur.
It's cool.
It's a really cool dinosaur. I've always been intrigued by the Stegosaurus.
Okay, I got that.
Powerful.
Yet
very strange.
Defensive with the plates.
It's got the plates,
but it's got the tail.
It's got the spiky tail.
The spiky tail.
Yeah.
Perfect combination of offense and defense.
Yeah. Plant eater.
Vegan. Velociraptor eats little kids.
Yeah.
From my knowledge of them.
Right.
All right. Our next Twitter question. Got a lot of non-NBA Twitter questions today.
There's nothing to talk about. Let's keep firing through.
Next Twitter question comes from Turtle3309. He wants to know, would you rather eat only dry biscuits or only dry cornbread for the rest of time?
I guess my question is, what kind of cornbread is it? Is it like a non-sweet cornbread? Or is
I think it's just cornbread. Dry cornbread.
Give me the dry cornbread then.
I think so too.
I think it's a pretty easy answer. Honestly. A
Just
biscuit, I need gravy or I need jelly.
Can't get them. Cornbread, I need chili. Can't have it. Can't have it.
You can't put the cornbread in the chili?
No, it's dry. You can only eat the cornbread or the biscuit with nothing.
Could I take a bite of jelly and then a bite of the biscuit?
No.
Okay.
You can take a bite of the biscuit, swallow it, and then take a drink of water, I would say.
Can I take a drink of jelly?
No,
Okay.
you cannot. This is
I would go cornbread.
I'd go cornbread too.
Okay.
Okay, he has 3 questions. His second question: who would win in a Perk versus Adams no holds barred cage match?
I think it's Steven.
I think so too.
Steven's bigger, and although Perk acts like he's a lot tougher, I think Steven's a lot tougher than Perk is. I'll say that.
And
I don't want to diminish Perk's toughness, but I just think that Steven has another level that really probably no one else in the NBA can get to.
Yeah. Plus, Perk's probably not part in the workouts right now.
I mean, right now, no. If you went prime Perk though,
Prime Perk,
he's tough. It would
He's
not
tough,
be. It would not
yeah.
be a simple match.
no.
It'd be lengthy,
It
but
would
I would still
be-
go Steven.
Yeah, they're not walking out of there the same person.
Steven's stronger than Perk is.
Yeah, but there's gonna be lasting injuries on both sides.
For sure. Yeah, I would hope that it wouldn't happen.
Right. Number 3. What is everyone's favorite GIF?
Mine is probably anything that involves Carl Winslow.
And you said Carl Winslow GIFs all the time. My favorite is any Schmidt or Nick Miller GIF from New Girl, because in our Down to Dunk text message group on like Friday nights, Saturday nights, me and Taylor will send so many GIFs back and forth that Jay routinely takes himself out of the conversation. We'll leave the group and have to be added back in the next day because we're sending so many and he hates it so much.
He does.
I think it's so funny.
And Jay will text me. He's like, oh. and then he'll say, can you add me back in later?
It's he gets so mad, and it's just like, Schmidt doing his thing.
I just endure it.
It's funny. You just put your phone on silent and go to bed.
Yeah,
And
I do. It's exactly what I
we'll
do.
wake up
Actually.
and laugh. All right, let's move on to our next Twitter question. It comes from the 405 Brody. Wants to know, did y'all see Morris also dipping into some of Adams' minutes? Do we see Morris dipping into some of Adams' minutes to give him longer rest, and Morris can play some of the 5 spot?
I don't think that's not the issue. Is like I think that Nerlens should play more minutes. I mean, if you're wanting to save Steven for the playoffs, Nerlens should play more. I think Nerlens has been productive enough that he should play more. Will he play small ball 5 at times? I think he can. But that's not where the issue is to me. I just think that they have had backup 4 issues all season. Patrick's been good in spots, but I think that they just want to upgrade there. And he'll play some minutes at the 5 certainly, but you have Nerlens, who I think is super productive and helpful to the defense and things like that. So I don't know that you necessarily want him taking, because if he's taking minutes from Adams, he's also taking minutes from Nerlens Noel. And do you want that to happen? I don't know. Maybe a few minutes here and there, but I don't think you'll see it a lot.
I agree.
Okay.
Patrick Patterson, congrats. Got engaged.
He did get engaged.
Yeah. There's it should explain why he's not has been hitting that many 3-pointers.
Should it?
Yeah, he's not hitting 3s because he's nailing 10s.
I saw that. There's like a
It was on Reddit. I saw
it was
it.
on
Loved
Reddit.
it.
Yeah.
Loved it. Shout out to
Yeah.
Reddit for being hilarious. The
Yeah.
Thunder thing is funny.
It's funny.
Okay, next Twitter question comes from @Implicit Storm. Wants to know the record prediction for the final 25 games.
So it's a great question. I think they'll maybe lose between 8 and 11 games, just depending on how things go. 11. Their initial stretch right after the All-Star break is pretty tough. So in these next 5 games, they have Utah, Sacramento, Denver, Philly, San Antonio.
Okay.
That's tough.
I'm sorry that my phone is
No, you gotta silence that baby.
I'm sorry.
So I think during that stretch, if they go 2-3, like that's not the most disappointing thing. They at least need to win 2 or 3 games in this next stretch. They're going to lose 1 or 2 or 3 of these games. Like that's going to happen. I'll be interested to see how they play against Utah tonight. That's a tough matchup, and Utah's good. I think the Thunder are better. I think in a 7-game series against Utah, I think they beat them pretty handily. But I think in the regular season, anything can happen. But overall, I think that they're going to win a lot of games. I think they'll probably end up at like 53, 54 wins.
Yeah, I think they're so rested.
The rest of the
So
season.
rested. I'm sorry that this is.
Yeah.
This continues to happen. It's still
They're just so popular.
I know, man. It's early morning. People want to know, how did you sleep? Tell me about your dreams.
So some difficult matchups moving forward. They have a lot of them. So they got Utah, Sacramento, Denver, Philly, San Antonio. Those are all
We
tough.
got to think we're so rested. We're so rested.
Everybody else is too.
I know, but we're better. So we're rested.
Portland is tough. At the Clippers, I think is an interesting one. I think that's not a super difficult one, but it's on the second night of back-to-back. They get at Utah. They have Golden State at home March 16th, which is a tough one. Then they have a home road. It's not a back-to-back, but it's like a home and home with Toronto, the 20th and the 22nd of March.
With Toronto both times?
They play Toronto.
Both at home? Like are here, there, and here?
Yeah.
Okay.
In OKC, and then they fly to Toronto. And then like the Pacers is another tough one. Denver, the Lakers on April 2nd. The Lakers looked pretty good last night. And then Houston, Milwaukee. So there's a lot of tough games in there. And if they lost 8 to 10 of those games, I think that would be understandable, which would put them like between 52 and 54 wins for the season. I think that's where they'll end up. I think they'll be plus 50 wins unless something goes wrong. But I think that's where they'll end up.
What if something goes so right?
I mean, they could win 56 games. I think that's not impossible. That would be impressive. If they got 55 or more wins, I think there will be some serious Western Conference Finals buzz, and then you will have the random. I think the Thunder can knock off the Warriors buzz.
Do you think there will be, if we get that many wins, there will be PG MVP buzz?
Yeah, and actually, yes. I think if they get 56, 57-ish wins, they're in the second seed firmly, then yes, I think that Paul George will have a sincere chance of winning the most valuable player.
I'm all about the buzz.
And if they're in that spot, there's a chance that he wins the Defensive Player of the Year and the MVP.
Has that ever happened?
Michael Jordan's done it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Ooh, hey, in good company. No, hey, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
That would be wild.
It would be wild. I don't think he'll win the MVP, but I think that if something like that happens, he'll be in the conversation.
That's wild.
But it is a tough stretch. But I think the Thunder they play better when they're playing good teams.
Do you think if he keeps playing like how he's been playing, like it's not like, well, they're at like 50, 52 wins, that he'll get Defensive Player of the Year?
I think he'll win Defensive Player of the Year.
That's cool, man. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
First one in Thunder history.
Really?
Which is kind of interesting.
Yeah. Love when our guys get the recognition they deserve.
First dunk contest winner and first Defensive Player of the Year.
That's big. You know what we call that? Momentum.
I think that's exactly what you call it.
Momentum. All right, let's go to our next Twitter question. It comes from A Jacobs15, who says he's traveling to Oklahoma City from Tampa for this weekend's back-to-back set. What is the best pre-game bar? He said they'll definitely be checking out Anthem Brewing as well.
You should.
That's where you got to go.
You should go, especially before tip.
For tip dollar pints, if that's the case.
You can walk from there. It's not that far to the Chesapeake.
I mean, it's cold outside on some days. It's too cold. If it's too cold, too far to walk.
Bundle up, man.
But then you're there and you're hot. I don't know. I wouldn't. You can leave your car there and Uber.
I like to get a little brisk walk in before you're sitting down for the game.
Yeah, me too. I do the same thing.
Yeah,
but that's too far. I wouldn't walk that far. Park somewhere, get the streetcar. Ride the streetcar. You're from Tampa? What? Ride the streetcar. Or you live in Tampa? Ride the streetcar. You haven't. I haven't.
I saw it. I almost ran into it yesterday.
Yeah, I think I did the same thing. I got behind it. And I was like, "Oh, come on! Why is this guy moving so slow?" And I'm like, "Oh, this car's so long." Yeah, but do that. Where if you can't go to Anthem, where should you go?
Jones Assembly.
Jones Assembly for a little grub.
Yeah,
A little grub. Yeah, get some grub.
it's a cool. It
is cool.
It's a really cool place.
It is cool, and you should see it. And it's I'd say it's more of an after Thunder game place.
Yeah,
but for drinks after. But before they have really good drinks. A froze. Fred Katz loved the froze. We would go there and have it together, and it was great. But before they have food, you can sit down. I don't know if you're coming with a group, reminiscing with old friends. Go to the Jones Assembly. It's really
great.
Okay. Anywhere else you should check out?
You should go to the Press or the Mule.
That's right.
They're not that. It's not far from downtown, but it's definitely somewhere that if you parked in the plaza, you'd want to Uber.
Yeah,
from there for sure. You should not try to walk.
Should not walk. Don't do it. You need
that would be super far, but you should go check it out. Check out the Press or the Mule. Great bar.
Good for brunch.
At both. Great for brunch.
Great for brunch.
I think it was named one of the best brunch spot by somebody that ranks things.
I'm gonna name it best brunch spot out of places I like.
Yeah.
There you go. I want to get him a plaque that Luke likes this place
You're right.
for brunch. It is very, very, very good.
Yeah.
If you go to the Mule, you should get the waffle fried bonanza, which is great.
It's at the Press.
That's what I'm Press.
Yeah.
Go to the Press and get it. Then go to the Mule for lunch. Brunch, lunch. Dynamic duo. Okay, here's a question from @DeanBalls. Wants to know, what song would you prefer as the home closer after a win? He thinks the Black Eyed Peas got to get replaced at some point.
Tonight's going to be a good night, and then followed by Taking Care of Business forever.
I don't want it to ever change. Tonight's going to be a good night, but the Black Eyed Peas gets me hyped up for a win. Win. And then you just get the dun, 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 dun. It's great.
Yeah. As
the balloons fall, the streamers.
Down. Yeah.
Yes. This is my city. This is my band, the Black Eyed Peas.
What if they played?
That would be sweet. That would be awesome. And do they have to pay for the rights to these things?
I have no
know
idea
how it works, but if they do, I think that has to be cheaper.
From Alien Ant Farm?
Yeah. Black Eyed Peas to Alien Ant Farm. I think Alien Ant Farm's cheaper.
It could be.
I don't know. But that would be awesome. That would be pretty good.
That would be pretty cool.
I think they should play that after, like, you know how like Collison would like make free throw and they play like Meet George Jetson.
When people,
stuff like that. After every made free throw. Boom.
Yeah.
It would be sweet. I would like that.
Yeah. Have you heard the Fergie Fresh after Terrence Ferguson scores? The Fergalicious.
What is
Fergalicious? After every time he scores.
I would just like to view the meeting where they decide this.
I know.
Like
he really likes it.
I wonder if they meet with the player, like, what could we say that gets
talking to your mic a little closer.
What could we say that gets to the essence of you, that after you make a made free throw, that you play? And Collison's just like, meet George Jetson. Boom, done.
Ferguson wasn't I guess a part of it.
Really?
He didn't know.
So the players don't.
I would guess that they could have been put on anything they want, but
Fergalicious. It's the one where it goes Fergalicious Def.
Yeah,
that's good,
and it repeats, and it's hilarious.
That's great.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Yeah,
that's wild. What would your song be after you make a free throw?
Oh man, and it's after every made basket.
Okay.
Oh, I don't know. I'm not ready for that.
Okay, mine would be Russell Westbrook saying "bang bang."
Bang bang
makes fun. What if they made that? Russ makes fun and goes bang bang. That'd be sweet.
Bang bang. Bing bang.
Bing bang.
Bing bang. Wait, what is he saying?
Bing bang.
Bing bang.
Bing bang.
Bing bang.
Is it Bing bang or Bing bing?
Bing bang.
Bing bang. I think it's Bing bang.
Bing bang.
Now that I hear, I think it's Bing bang.
I would just want this after every time I make a shot.
Who are you? Why do I got to talk to you?
Okay.
Who are you?
I missed the podcast after he did that.
Yeah.
He's a big baby.
He's a big baby.
He's a big baby.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want me to tell you the story I told you before the pod?
Yeah, so we were talking about Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant both.
Because Kyrie Irving just did the same thing.
Kyrie,
Kind of.
he got super defensive about people asking him about he and Kevin talking in the tunnel before the All-Star game. He got super like, why do you guys want to hear this? He was so mad about it. And then what's funny is that after the All-Star game, they both flew to Miami together.
Yeah.
To spend the rest of the All-Star break. And he also was like, what? You said that Kevin is his best friend. And it's like, what? You just made it a story by telling everybody that's your best friend.
Yeah.
But he's super defensive, and we both agree that when you're that defensive about something, there's truth behind it.
I agree. And also the thing that when Kevin was asked about it, he brought up unprovoked. I didn't ask for the Porzingis trade.
Yeah.
Unprovoked. Like, that's not the question they asked you.
And it happened again at the All-Star.
Man.
The All-Star availability. He talked about how he was really happy for Porzingis. And it was just like, why do you keep talking about Kristaps?
Why do you care? Like, there's trades all over. Why do you talk about this one that is about the team that people think you're going to go to that you say you won't?
Yeah.
That it's not. It's so dumb. This is what happened to me one time. And this is the best representation of a similar thing, and why I know that Kevin is going to New York, and so is Kyrie, and that he asked for the Porzingis trade, and he's very heavily involved in this. One time, me and Andrew were at a party in college.
Mm-hmm.
It was like our sophomore year, a ton of people there. Probably, a little like top, like apartment kind of. And I would say there were 50 people there.
Yeah.
And in the middle of the party, I took a party poop.
Yeah.
I used the bathroom.
Classic Luke.
Clogged the toilet. Classic Luke.
That
very,
is
very on brand.
So
Clogged the toilet, and I'm just in there. I'm like, oh man, this is bad. And so I'm just like, I'm leaving it.
No plunger.
No plunger. They didn't have a plunger. They had a brush. Brush cannot accomplish. What a plunger can.
Of course not. I would say this is all their fault.
I would say they set themselves up or someone else for failure.
Okay, go ahead.
And it was me.
Yeah.
Clogged it. And I was just like, so I get out, go to the other end of the party, and I'm just telling her, like, hey, something bad happened. And so then the owner of the house comes out of this is like 10 or 15 minutes later, comes out of the bathroom and goes, hey, who clogged the toilet in there? And before he can finish getting the words out of his mouth, he basically says, hey, who clogged the toilet in there? I scream from across the party, yeah, who did that? and my friend was sitting next to me, and he turned to me and he goes, it's so obvious that it was you.
Yeah.
He was like, why did you say anything? and that's what I would say to Kevin Durant after he gets done with that. I said, why did you say anything? It's so obvious that you asked for the Porzingis trade. You don't bring that up unprovoked. Unless you clog the toilet.
Kyrie and Katie have
They've clogged the toilet.
Firmly clogged the toilet. There's nothing but a brush. And they should just keep their mouth shut.
Literally, when you aren't at a party and you see the toilet, just water rising, toilet paper everywhere.
Yeah.
Just the cold sweat. You're just like, I'm dead.
What have I done?
I've got to jump out the window. I should have jumped out the window. It was on the second story.
It probably would have been worth it.
I agree. Hey, Andrew, I got one more question for you. But before I ask you that, I want to talk to you about Oklahoma. I want to talk to you about Oklahoma Shirt Company.
Go ahead.
They're great. They have their Oklahoma Shirt of the Month Club. $10 a month to get you a new Oklahoma themed shirt every month.
Money don't make none.
They also have different state shirts that Jay is a lot better about remembering. Kansas, Texas,
Arkansas,
Missouri,
Arkansas.
After that, I get scared that we're going to say when they don't have. However, the great thing about them is if you live in Tennessee and you want a Tennessee shirt, you can talk to them and they can help you create your own shirts.
Custom.
If you have bachelor party, book club, no friends, but you want to make it look like you have friends and you have like a everyone loves me club, you can talk to them and they will make that item of clothing. They're great.
You couldn't really use that in the 8th grade whenever you made a shirt that said,
I found this shirt and I was horrified
yeah,
that I had done this. There was in 8th grade, I thought a girl was a very attractive,
yeah,
hot, one could even say. And so I went, at the time, there wasn't a great, a shirt printing company that could make a great design.
yeah.
Basically, you just had the Athletic Village, and
Yeah.
I could just do very, very basic lettering.
Yeah, and it wasn't even like on a printer. It was just like
it's like stick on,
like stick
letters.
on, like iron on, whatever.
Yeah, iron on letters. And I made a shirt. Her name was Liz, and I made a shirt that said "Liz is hot."
Yeah,
and I wore it to school.
You sure did.
And this was accepted and normal, I guess. It was probably weird for everyone else.
Not normal,
but
but accepted.
But
probably
did it get the point across that I thought she was very attractive? Yes.
I think it did. But the truth is that if you had Oklahoma Shirt Company,
I would probably be married 10 kids now.
That's probably true.
Yeah.
You could have even printed her face upon the shirt that says Liz is hot.
I know. What could have been and now can be.
Can be.
But I found that shirt in the back of like my like a move, like in the back of my closet. And I was just like, oh my God.
What have I done?
Why did I do this? This is so embarrassing. And now I have to remember it. And I'm going to think of it in times to where, man, I'm the worst. Just trying to get to sleep. I'm like, oh man. When Sunday Scaries it comes back, But now, Oklahoma Shirt Company, they're great. Use them. You can make shirts, stickers, let the world know about the women you find attractive or men. It's 2019,
We have women listeners.
There you go. Andrew, I have one final question for you, and it is this. Are you miffed and are you peeved?
Miffed and peeved.
Are you miffed and are you peeved?
My wife has her windshield cracked.
Oh man, that sucks.
It does
because it is a little one.
So I believe what happened is that there was a tiny one that I was unaware of, and then it iced and snowed some, and then it got in the crack.
Yeah,
and then split, and now it's not a great situation.
That I had one where it's like a little pebble hit my thing, and I called like Safe Flight and was like, seal this up. Yeah, and the guy was sealing it up, and he's like, this is eventually going to spread. And I was like, what? Why are you doing this then? And he was like, this is just to get it from slowing the process.
Yeah.
It doesn't stop. It doesn't halt the process. And I was just like, oh man.
Can't stop the process, man.
It sucks because it's just like, oh man, this little thing right there that's not a big deal is going to eventually cost me a lot of money.
Yeah.
I hate
They're
that.
not that expensive, but it's still just hey, come on.
Wouldn't you rather spend $300 to $500 anywhere else?
Oh, it's a lot less than that.
I don't know about that.
I do.
Okay. But wouldn't you rather spend that money somewhere else?
I would much rather just have it. Just have that money.
I do too.
I was super miffed.
I bet that is miffed.
I was so miffed. I was like, she's like, I'm pretty sure my windshield's cracked. I was like, no, not today.
No. Am I miffed? I'm not miffed.
No,
I'm not about miffed about anything. However, I'm actually kind of happy.
Yeah, Embiid.
The Oklahoma, laws. They added a law to make trains stopping on tracks stop. Like if they're there for more than 10 minutes, they get fined like $10,000 for every
really?
minute. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
That's great news.
But they have some say like there's like things like exceptions, like if they're waiting to do something and it's not their fault.
Yeah.
But
why do they stop?
I don't, probably because they're bad at their job.
Yeah.
Like the worst place to stop where you're just impeding everyone's ability to go anywhere. And if you're in an Uber, you're just like, this is just money. Time is money. And I'm just wasting away.
Yeah. Oh, that's the worst.
And
it feels like it happens all the time.
It feels like it happens. And there's some legislator person that was like, this is happening too much. They were late to somewhere.
Yes.
They were
that's
like,
what you need.
I'm going to make this stop. And I like that.
It's great.
So hard to be too mad because I live by a train. Nothing makes me more mad than the train. I freaking hate the train.
This has been the Drew and Lou basketball show. Hope you guys have a great Friday. Hey, leave us a 5-star iTunes review if you have a chance. We are 2 away, I believe, from 800
Ooh.
iTunes reviews. It would be great to get 2 5-star ones today.
Wow.
You can help us reach that round number.
800.
800.
800.
Have a great weekend. We'll talk to you guys again. We'll actually talk about basketball on Monday with Michele Barra.
Basketball tonight. See everyone at Anthem.
Anthem. Be there 4 to 8:30.
4 to 8:30.
I'll see you there.
Cool, man. See ya.